Good morning, good morning. My name is Jenna. This is 11:11 with Jenna. And I am here 7 days, 7 nights, and 14 times a week. And I'm writing somebody. That's right. 7 days at 11:11 a.m., 7 nights at 11:11 p.m. Eastern time, no matter where I am. Speaking of where I am, I will be in Seattle on Tuesday. Might be a little wonky Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Might be from bed, not sure, but I will be here and you will be here and we will be here together. Cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. Let's just see what's going on. Hello, Hubert. How are you, sir? How are you? Oh, that's loud. Who that loud? Thank you for sharing. I'm going to edit the post and make it, I'm going to edit the privacy and make it so it's so much easier to share. And then I'm going to edit the post and just put a little something, something, something. I got my poem for tonight. I'm excited. Tonight is Poetry Glam. You know it. Poetry Glam. If you write poetry and want to read some for us, if you love a certain poem and want to share it, tonight, 11:11 with Jenna is the place to be. Tomorrow morning, I will be meandering. And we'll be moving, and we will be, and hold on one second, tomorrow night is Monday Night Movie Club, and this week's Monday Night Movie Club movie is the Nina Simone documentary, and it is available on Netflix. Watch it. It's good. And let's see what else. I'm going to do something right now. Really super fast. It is, and let me show you how easy it is to share the show, because there's one person watching and I think it's the person that's about to jump on. But I go to my fan page, for instance, and I go, Jenna Mammina, say something about this. AJ in the house is what's happening today. And then I share it another way. Share it where? Share it to a page. Whose page? Well, I'm going to share it to my friend's timeline. Who? How about A, J? Oh no, wait. A, J. It's loading, but it's not giving me anybody. What's up with that? Oh well, let's just hang out with him instead. Ladies and gentlemen. Martinez in the house, in the kitchen, in the bed. Where is he? We don't know until we know. Ooh, digging the hat, brother, digging the hat. Good morning. Ooh, sorry, hold on. I couldn't stop it. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Can you unmute thyself? Unmute thyself.
Thyself is unmuted.
What's happening?
Good morning.
Is it your day off?
It is my day off, but I did put in a little bit of time this morning.
How's it rolling over at the house?
Good. Everybody's healed up from the COVID wave a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And this mask mandate has been pretty much lifted here in New York State.
Knock yourself out. I'll be wearing my mask for the rest of my time.
I wear my bandana.
Not to wear them. mask
You're
mandate
right.
lifted, whatever.
I have my bandanas. I still go out in my bandanas, and they all think that I'm robbing the place. So
Cool.
I'm like, stick
I'll,
them
I'll
up. Give
walk
me all your
with you
milk.
anywhere. What kind of milk do you drink?
When I do drink milk, I drink like the lactose-free stuff, lactose-free whole milk. I kind of go with the flow. If it was just myself, I'd be drinking like 2%, 1% stuff. But
You drink it
because I'm in a
is
house,
it something you drink on a regular basis? Like, I'm going to go have a glass of milk.
nah, nah, no. It's mostly just water for me. Um, every once in a while, I'll go out and I'll buy some ginger ale, but otherwise, water and coffee are my main liquid form of
What brand
stuff
of
to drink.
ginger ale?
I'm sorry.
What brand of ginger ale?
Oh, whatever brand is cheapest at the moment. So last
There's
time it was
probably some
Schweppes.
groovy Schweppes. There's probably some groovy. You know what? I'm just gonna. I like to. My eyes get kind of. I'm gonna get my glasses.
Okay, I'll do a dance while you're gone.
That's funny. I started dancing.
Good morning. Good morning, Grace. Good morning, Patty. Good morning, Rob.
Oh, I have
Purple
glasses right.
Lounge is in effect today.
Purple Lounge is in effect. Purple Lounge. Purple Lounge. They don't
Let's
help
make
me.
it
They
even
just
more.
block some of this blue light that comes towards my face, galloping towards my eyes, burning the retina and such. I didn't use my lemon.
Ooh,
It's a Meyer lemon. It's from Berkeley. Check out my Berkeley lemon. It was sent to me in the mail.
lucky.
I know.
I'm
Did you
supposed
have
to
a
have
really
somebody
warm,
send me. I'm sorry.
did you have a really warm day yesterday, or are you getting it today?
It's been unseasonably warm, in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. I think today is supposed to hit 50, so that's not typical for this area, apparently.
I just read your message.
Which one?
You know, I think I thought the same thing. Hey, Lee Cooper's here.
Hey, Lee Cooper! Every
That you
time
thought that kazoos were made in Kalamazoo.
when I was a kid,
I did
I
too.
thought kazoos were made in Kalamazoo. So
Guitars were made in Kalamazoo, and just further on down the road a bit, cereal.
cereal,
Cereal
Kellogg
is made
cereal.
Kellogg in Battle Creek, Michigan. And when I was a kid, a couple of times I was there with my parents, but when I was a young adult, my brother and I were driving back from a Dead show somewhere, and he goes, "You want to stop at the Kellogg factory and do the tour?" And I was like, "Sure." We were the only ones on the tour, and we got to see how all the cereal was made. And at the end, they give you, remember the variety pack
Uh-huh.
cereals, the little mini cereals?
Right, they're wrapped in the cellophane.
You got a whole thing of the variety pack. Both of us did.
Nice. That was
We,
probably
we
because you
walked
were the
out
only
there with a,
two. That's probably because you were the only two on the tour. Normally they break it up when there's groups of 10 or
maybe.
more.
Here you have, I was a corn pops gal. Like, just throw the, I'd still, if I had some corn pops today, I would eat them.
Sugar Smacks were my go-to.
Sugar
If
smacks.
if it wasn't
But
if it
we
wasn't
never
the
had
Captain
them in the
Crunch
house.
brands.
Ooh, we
Oh yeah.
never had that in the house. I ate grape nuts when I was like 6.
Well, my mom shopped at the co-op, the old co-op grocery stores. We used to get
Yeah.
frosted puffed rice cereal instead of Sugar Smacks.
In a big old bag, right? Or was it
Right.
in the she dug it out. Do you remember Williams out on San
Yep.
Pablo in Richmond?
Yes, the health food store,
When I
right?
found Williams, yes, I lived in, if I lived in Oakland, I would drive all the way to Williams. I loved Williams grocery store. It was a health food store,
Yeah,
old school. Loved
yeah.
that
That
store.
was the first place I discovered Dr. Bronner's.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
And carob.
yeah.
I learned about carob. I learned pretty, yeah, Yule Gibbons. From when I was like 5 or 6 years old, I loved grape nuts. And there was also another
You'll Gibbons.
celery cereal that I liked called Concentrate, Kellogg's Concentrate. And it came in a bag about this big. I'm not lying. It was gold, and you just needed a little bit because Kellogg was a big health guy, like super, super, super longevity guy. And this was one of his things. I was this little, I was 5 taking my supplements and doing my thing and wearing my earth shoes and my midi dresses in Michigan. In Berkeley,
Friggin'
I could have gotten away with it.
friggin' hippie.
Oh, I was born that way. I didn't even know what
Yeah,
Venice, California, or Berkeley were, but I know that's where I wanted to go. You
yeah.
will
No,
get
my right. That was a blast from the past, right there. Yo Gibbons.
Yeah, yeah. So
Good
what are you
morning,
up to?
Rich.
I love this hat.
Oh, thank you. Uh, I mugged a cancer patient for it. It's like, give me that hat. No,
Nice.
this was actually what at the cancer center that Joy's mom goes to
Did
uh,
someone knit
here at
it?
Glens Falls Hospital. I'm sorry. Yeah, well,
Did
what they
someone
do
knit?
is they at the cancer center they have a collection of like hats and others type of things for the patients, and
Mhm.
every once in a while, if I happen to see a hat that I might like, she grabs it
Get
for me, and we
that hat, girl.
share the hat. I actually wore the hat out one day, and
I love it.
thank you, thank you. They're applauding that I mugged a cancer patient for the hat. So
Yeah,
sick audience there.
they are some. That's a sick group of people we hang out with. Funny though.
But I was out and I was wearing the hat, and a woman approached me. She's like, "I love your hat. Where did you get it? Did someone knit it for you?" And so I thought I was busted. And
Right,
so
right.
I admitted it. I was like, "Oh well, I'm a caregiver for this woman who has cancer. We go to the cancer center, and there was hats, and she liked it, and I borrow her hat every once in a while when it's available." I thought I was seriously busted. She was like, "Well, I love it. I thought maybe you got it from a store somewhere," and I'm like, "Yeah, no, I stole it."
It's a good one. You are the Rainbow Man. I need to check in really quick with Rich. Rich, have you met Cashew? Rich's cutest, second cutest, equally as cute as Lily and Pearl. Have you met Cashew, AJ?
Is she like a Papillon kind of dog, long hair,
No,
big ears?
that's that's Rob and Carol's dog.
Okay, then no.
Cashew is a mixture of Chihuahua and Pug or something. Not Pug. Super cute. We'll know in a second. Well, Cashew Friday night started on this whirlwind, woo 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 woo, not feeling well kind of thing, and then couldn't his back legs couldn't he couldn't walk. So
Oh
Rich
no.
yesterday took him to the vet early in the morning because he still couldn't walk and he was really out of it. And they did a couple of toxicity reports on him, and he ingested kind of a large amount of THC.
Oh no.
And, and so now I just want to reach out to Rich to find out how Cashew is this morning. So, Rich, if you can jump in or type in or pop on, either way, I would like to know what's going on. Even my mom's prayer group prayed for Cashew yesterday, and we were all sending healing light and love and prayers. And yeah, It's no joke, you know. So maybe I think
No,
maybe
yeah. Go ahead. I'm
I
sorry.
love that hat. I love that hat that you stole.
I well, good vibes go out to Cashew. I'd like to know what kind of edible Cashew ate. Uh, Commercial or homemade. Um, was it chocolate? Hopefully, it wasn't chocolate. Does do the double whammy on the poor dog. But you know, yeah, THC just turns dogs and especially little ones and cats into just rubber bones. They just don't have any bones, and they just pretty much go limp. Um, so yeah, thoughts thoughts go out to the poor puppy. I'm sure they're okay. He's just gonna have a major THC hangover.
Yeah. Well, here's my theory. He was he plays with him in a school park, right? And where the kids go to recess. My theory is a kid found his mom's gummies,
Okay.
brought them to school,
Oh no.
and then maybe had them in his pocket and one fell out of the pocket, or he had them and he hid them out in the on the playground. That's just my theory.
Wow.
And Lee
Wow.
called you a cancer cap klepto.
Oh boy. Takes one to know one. um, but yeah, no, everything is still good here.
Good.
One bit of news that I've been authorized to mention on your show today, but not posting it on Facebook for people to read. Apparently, it's not ready. That type of news. But Joy is pregnant, 2 months pregnant. She'll have a baby in September.
Sorry if I hurt your ears. Awesome! Joy, welcome, sister girl.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Fun.
I don't know how long it'll be before we find out if it's going to be a boy or a girl. We're hoping for a girl. We need some female energy in this
Yeah, you
house,
do.
and she's agreed. I have naming rights for the baby. Not bad
J
baby. First of all,
J E
let me let
N
me
N.
let me clarify real quick. It's not my child. Okay. My brother asked me if it was my child, and I told him no. And then I told Joy that my brother asked me if it was my child, and her response was, "Ew." So
Oh,
that was nice.
okay. Hey, do you mind if
But
I'm going to get Rick on here? We're going to find out about. Well, go ahead. Talk about the baby real quick.
no,
Listen to
no
me while
problem. I
I talk about
have
the dog.
I,
You're talking about a
I
baby, and
have
I'm like, what if I know about the dog?
I have naming rights. I've been given naming rights for the baby, and so
Jay.
we're gonna name the baby
Rick.
Slappy. I couldn't name my daughter Slappy, so we're gonna try and even if they reject the name, still gonna call the baby Slappy. She's gonna be like 8 years old. She's gonna go, "Mommy, why does Uncle Alex call me Slappy?" And she's gonna have to explain it after Slappy White, the great old school comedian. So
Okay, so see, I didn't know this. Slappy.
Slappy White. Anyway, that's it. I don't have naming rights. It was a joke. The baby's not going to be named Slappy. Don't worry, everybody. Now let's find out about Cashew, please.
Have
I want to
fun,
know about Cashew.
ladies and gentlemen. Cashew report. Cashew health report. Cashew report. Have y'all met each other?
Yeah, I think I was on the show with Rich.
Gotcha.
The Canadian, right?
No, that's Rob. Rich is in California. Rich is in North. He's in east in the over the tunnel, through the tunnel, and through the woods.
To grandmother's house we go.
Grandmother's
Cashew's
house. Yes.
Go. Hey, Rich, AJ, Rich.
Hey, AJ.
Hi, Rich.
You're a star in my book, AJ. I see you all the time.
Oh, right on, Rich. I appreciate it.
Nice jacket, Rich. What are you sporting there? It looks kind of cold. Is it cold there?
Chilly here in California. It's my little, it's not a jacket. It's just my little pullover, whatever.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's give you a visual here. Let's see.
Oh, wait. Let me get you on full screen here. Hold on a sec.
Someone is sleeping still. He's buried. He's still passed out. So those are the effects of whatever he got into. So AJ, we don't know exactly what the brand was or what was in it. We're making a lot of assumptions here because we don't know.
Do we know for sure that it was THC?
Well, yeah, because after the second urine test, they did find a bunch, which of course, I just figured that all fingers point to me as the owner. Like, this is my fault somehow, basically.
Well, now I know you're in California. So the first thing I was thinking was got into your stash.
Honestly, that's what I thought too. But I double checked. First of all, I don't have any. Yes, I love my cannabis, but I don't have any flower here. All I have are vape products, and they're all above the refrigerator and stuff. So for as high as Cashew can jump, and he is a circus dog, and he can jump really fucking high. I mean, literally, when you take him to the dog park, there's a woman who has a pouch of bag treats. Like she wears like a fanny pack of dog treats around her waist. And if the bag was big enough, Cashew could hop into the bag from the ground.
Cashew jumps straight up in the air like this?
Yeah, he's like the dog.
Like Tigger?
Yeah, exactly.
That's how Lillian was. She was like, I used to call her Tigger.
So
still can jump pretty high.
So they just found THC. They found like 400 milligrams or micromilligrams or whatever the measurement was of THC in his bloodstream after the second test. He wasn't urinating a bunch, and then they finally got enough to test. And apparently intoxication for dogs is somewhere in the vicinity of like 16,000 of those. So
but he had 400.
He only had 400. So he was far from being, fatally, intoxicated by this stuff. But given his size, AJ, like you said, I mean, he is, I think rubber bones is a really good way of putting it. He couldn't lift his back. He's moving around better because last night he got himself to the pee-pee pad, bathroom.
Did he go?
He went, he knows where it is. He came back to the bed afterwards and snuggled with me, although he completely overshot the mark. Like when he hopped up on the bed, he's still super sloppy, and kind of like landed on my face, instead kind of thing. But I feel like he's getting better. He just needs to, talk about THC hangover. He needs to sleep this off for like days.
I still think you need to throw him a grilled cheese, a really good grilled cheese sandwich.
I made him
some funny movies.
I made him some chicken last night and just brought the chicken in a bowl to him. Right where basically right where you see him here. I brought
he's lying here.
I brought the chicken to him.
Hi, Cashew.
And
Cashew.
Smelled, and he smelled it. Like he was like, "Oh, I smell food," and he kind of just propped himself up and ate directly from the bowl and stuff. So he's going to be okay from his marijuana intoxication. Unbelievable. So that's my dog tail. Sticking to it.
Well, we're happy that it wasn't something else. That's what I was concerned about. That it was some other poison.
That's scary when you don't know. When you don't really know what's going on. and your pet is acting erratically, that's super scary.
That's exactly what happened, AJ. I mean, I just didn't know what it was. And I mean, God, Jenna doesn't know me well. She knows me better now over the last, 36 hours than she did before. Cause I mean, I called her in a panic and I bawling my eyes out. I thought I was losing.
I called my sister crying. I'm like, I think it might be, I don't know, but because Lillian, AJ loved root balls. When we lived in Mendocino County, she loved to chew on root balls. And, after the plants harvested and got pretty wobbly there a couple times.
So I just hope your mom isn't all bummed out that she prayed for a dog high on weed. As it turns out.
I mean, when people are high, dogs are high. That's like, it's not cool. I mean,
I was so bad when I was talking to the mom last night. Like, we pray for cash. I'm like, no, the dog who ate weed. It's just like.
That's a good story.
So among
the dog who ate weed.
So
all right,
we want to pray for Karen, who's got cancer, and then pray for Daryl, who's got MS, and then poor Cash, who is high on weed.
But you're totally right. Rubber bones. Poor thing. Can he walk yet?
Well, he can, because he got himself. He was sleeping with me in bed last night, and then he left. And then he didn't come back. So I was like, kind of wondering. This was like whatever 4:30 or 5 this morning, and I was like, Cashew, and he didn't come back. So I got out of bed just to make sure he was okay. And he, I checked where the pee-pee pads were, and he obviously made it to the pee-pee pads because he unloaded there. And then now he's where I just showed you. He's in my daughter's bed now, which is where he likes to hang out when she's not here. So he obviously got himself to those two places without my help. So that's good.
Yeah. Poor Cashew.
You couldn't find him, and then you found that he was ordering Domino's.
I got the munchies, Dad.
Lillian eats a piece of toast every night, a piece of buttered toast.
Yeah, what's up with this toast? You mentioned this last time. How did you find out the affinity for toast?
It settles their stomach. I mean, rice does too, but toast or pasta. Lillian's not a big eater, but she'll usually eat around midnight, 1 o'clock. And so I make her toast. Sometimes a bowl of pasta with butter.
Tea. Toast and tea.
She doesn't really like tea. She's tried tea. She learns, if I'm doing yoga, I'll have my cup on the ground and whoa, no, it's hot. Yeah, no, you don't want to touch that. But yeah, not everyone gets the munchies, Julie. Well, particular strains cause more. Which strains are more munchy, create the munchies? AJ, Rich?
I'm going to guess, AJ, correct me here, but I'm going to guess sativas probably versus indicas, because indicas just make you pass out and you sit on the couch and don't move and you can't get up to get anything to eat.
Couch lock.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. But AJ, you might have it a different.
For me, it's all we just.
Hey, AJ, can I ask you a favor?
You're breaking up, buddy.
You're breaking up really bad. Can you hang up and come back?
Sure.
Okay. Rather than sit there and troubleshoot and try to figure out what it is, it's just easier just to hang up and come back.
Now, for all of those of you who are waiting for the answer on which weed makes you hungry, you're just going to have to wait for a few minutes.
Well, because that's one of the things when a doctor prescribes marijuana, they say, warning, this may cause you to gain weight.
And that's because it will cause a massive increase in your appetite.
Right. Yeah. And certain strains are stronger than others.
It's funny because I've never really associated munchies with that at all. Or, even though
I mean, I like to eat anyway, but I'll eat. Like last night, I ate French fries and a chocolate shake on my way home from Little Feat private concert.
Now that just sounds way out of character for you. French fries and a shake.
Oh, and I was miserable. I was like, oh, I couldn't sleep. And then we had a storm, and Lillian was shaking like a leaf. And hold on, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, one more time. AJ Martinez. Purple room, purple room. What's up, AJ? Let's hear you now. What's going on? Can you hear us? Unmute thyself. Unmute, unmute, unmute thyself.
Unmute, unmute, unmute is on fire.
We're still waiting for your answer. Which weed makes you hungrier?
Oh, all weed makes you hungry. it's just I believe it's sativa that makes you hungry faster, from what I understand. But all weed promotes appetite. So
All weed.
if you're smoking a really good indica, it's just going to take you that much longer to fry in the fridge.
To get to
Exactly.
You get No, I used to call it couch lock. Now I'm going to call it cashewed. I've been cashewed.
Cashewed. Well, I think my vet is pretty hip, because she said to me when she brought the dog back, she's like, I think your dog had the equivalent of a couple of ganja goo balls. And I'm like, what's that? But I knew exactly what that was, because I've gone to a couple of Fish concerts and they sell those in the parking lot.
Yeah, the goo balls. I know the goo balls. Yeah, nah, not me. Can't.
Yeah, but I didn't want to be that in the know with my vet, lest she think I'm
like, oh yeah, like the ones I have on my table.
Oh. Yeah, right.
She would have been like, yeah, I think your dog is high on ground scores.
I think, yeah, pretty much. Does your dog have any ticket stubs?
Ground scores.
So I was like, all right, well,
where was Cashew on Friday night?
So she said,
I thought he was at an elementary school park.
She said to me, Cashew is high AF. And I'm like, okay.
Hey, Rich, has your daughter smoked pot?
I don't know. I hope not.
Have you ever asked her?
She's volunteered more than once that she hasn't. Because it's, because I'm not. She certainly knows that her dad uses it medicinal,
like the goo ball night now and then.
Yeah, no, uses it medicinal. Neuralgia. That's so she knows that. She doesn't know any, certainly, I've never partook and still don't around her or anything like that. But she's going to be 14 in May. So the reality is that it's around her, and it's in school, and it's being talked about, and I'm sure people in her
and they do other stuff too. They're like into the whole Adderall and that.
I'm more concerned about that, quite honestly.
Yeah.
I want her to kind of discover all this stuff the way, as organically as it's going to happen, right? However she gets exposed to all that culture via school and social media, it's going to happen, and I can't do anything about it. It's more now a question of education and and moderation and all those things, because I've just kind of figured being a parent and being super strict about this stuff is not going to win that battle. That she's gonna that be open.
Has she been to a Fish concert?
No, she's not interested. I tried to bring her in October when they were here in October, but and their lighting director, Corona, does like Justin Bieber's lights. So I was like trying to bait her that way, like, hey, the same guy who does, some of the pop stars you do, but she's not that much into music at all, generally speaking. She's way into her social life and Snapchat and that kind of stuff. And whatever music she is listening to is clearly influenced by TikTok, hip hop, popular culture, all that stuff. So there's, she doesn't like anything like yet that's cool, but that's coming, I hope.
What about your daughter, AJ? What was it? Because she grew up in Berkeley, Richmond, Berkeley.
Yeah, no. My daughter was about maybe 13 when she broke the news to me. And at the time, I was working for a Berkeley Patients Group, and I was really immersed in a lot of knowledge and education and stuff that was out there that promoted the benefits of cannabis. And so rather than kind of get down on her about it, I was like, well, let's find stuff that's good for you, because she's an epileptic. And so cannabis was something that she was using to kind of help with the seizure-ish feelings that she gets. And she doesn't get like, well, when she was a kid, she never really got like a grand mal type seizures. It was all very small, petite mal seizures. But that's when she, and I knew that she had smoked cigarettes. That I already had that knowledge. And the day that she told me, I was picking her up. I was driving from like Richmond to Fremont, and I was in a car and I was smoking in the car, and right about about, I don't know, right there, maybe like 10 minutes away from my destination, rolled the windows down, aired it all out, and got there, picked her up, put her in the car, and then as soon as I closed the car, I smelled weed. And I'm like, wow, I thought I really aired the car out. No, it was coming from the reeking little 13-year-old next to me. And so we're driving, and I'm sure she's feeling the vibe from me, because I'm driving the car going like, what smells, right? I mean, is it me? What, and we never really shielded her from it growing up, but in the same respect, we were still kind of very self-conscious about it. And she was like, Dad, I wanted to tell you, I've been smoking weed for about a year now, and and it helps with my seizures. And that's when I had the reaction of an advocate rather than someone that was like, no. And I was like, you know what? Let's go over here to this restaurant, sit down and munch out, because we both got the munch.
And order the whole side of the menu.
Right. And so we're sitting there over tater tots and and stuff, and just talking about the whole thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny because you have the idea of these moments of growth with your child, these milestones, and one of the milestones is this dread that they're going to start dating, right? That was the one. And so I'm like, I'm thinking, all the tropes, like, to be home by a certain time, don't kiss boys or girls because you're not ready for it, stuff like that, to don't smoke a joint that you haven't seen rolled yourself, those type of tips, right? And it was weird in a way, because at that time there was some distance between me and her. I had just kind of moved back from San Diego, and she held some resentment against me for like being not around and not being like attentive or anything. And so She was down on me for a minute, and this new knowledge of her smoking and me being immersed in the culture at the time, created this really strong bond between her and I. It kind of repaired our relationship. So I credit cannabis for bringing me and my daughter closer together and back together. So it was awesome.
That's really a great, interesting story, because I'm wrestling with the whole thing about being a parent, like whether you're their friend or whether you're their parent, and and that there really shouldn't be an in between. So I've kind of made my own mantra where I don't think I would ever spark up with my daughter or suggest that, particularly at this
And
age.
see, I don't even spark up, but I would love to smoke with Mama Grace, but she doesn't want to smoke.
Well, you're in a different phase of your life right now too. I think with a 13-year-old, it would be, in my opinion, anyway.
Oh, that's different. And if your daughter was epileptic or had other seizure, migraine or something?
Right. When it becomes a medical thing, it's a completely different discussion versus a recreational thing. That's the bottom line. And so for me personally, it's both recreational and medical. It was recreational first and medical second, as it turns out, in my life. But that doesn't make it, that doesn't affect how I parent my kid, So it's like, so she's, so as far as I'm concerned, she came over today and said, I smoked weed with my friends yesterday in the park. I would probably be bummed.
That's how Cashew got high.
I'd be really bummed. I'd be dumb. Yeah, I'd be
Cashew
bummed. He was the one that got the dog sick. But
Cashew hit the blunt.
Yeah.
My mom just said, be a parent, not a friend.
Exactly. Your mom's right.
That's important. Another thing that kind of influenced that also is that I wasn't the full-time parent at the time. And so
I'm not either.
You tend to be
time with her mom.
You tend to be a little bit more lenient with your kids, right? In that respect, And so, for me anyway, it was one of those moments that I wouldn't necessarily call it being like a friend in that respect. I think it was more of an advocate based on her need to alleviate this. But it's a fine line. It's definitely a fine line. It's like cracking a beer with your kid. It's along those lines now because it's recreational. It's not an illicit activity in California, and so it's those milestone years. It's those times when I can't say that I waited until 18. I was like maybe 12 when I first started smoking weed, and haven't stopped.
If you grew up in the Bay Area, I know adults, 60-year-old people that say to me, well, I've heard every story in Berkeley, and some of the same people I'm talking about, but I have friends that were rolling their parents' joints when they were 5 years old and helping their parents in the lab making stuff. But Rob Morocco, 61, never got high, maybe tile glue helping his dad, but no drugs. You're not weird. It's just another. I don't smoke, but I've been around the culture since I was a kid.
Yeah, it's the culture. It's definitely the culture.
Yeah, I mean, I was by contrast. You and I are probably close to the same age, AJ, and by contrast, I was like a total late bloomer as far as that stuff goes. 12 or 13 to me sounds incredibly early, but I know it's not. Just empirically speaking, I know that there's a lot of kids out there who have tried stuff younger than 12 years old.
And then there are a lot of kids out there now that parents have had them on Adderall since they were 5 years old because they were acting out in school.
And we could have an entire episode about that. Just what that was a thing you agree with.
Well, he wasn't really concentrating. What? So you put him on speed when he was 6? Now I have a whole.
Right.
Well, yeah.
About that.
Start chemically treating your kid that young, just generally speaking, seems like the wrong direction to go. But
change their food, change their diet, change their sleeping habit. work with them more. I
Sure.
was a teacher for a
Right.
long time. I saw
Right.
that
Agreed.
happen a lot. Those parents should have known better. Shame on them. Well, but mom, it was Berkeley, and it was a different world. Now it's just the light stuff, but
My parents are no
Well, you
longer.
know what? Even
They would be.
you know what? Even I mean,
know,
but even stuff
but we-
like. Go ahead, Rich. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying my parents are no longer with us, but and I'm I'm 60 years old, and it's nothing. I was, it's, up until the point that they. I mean, it was never something we ever discussed. They had no exposure to kind of counterculture at all, and so even the concept of smoking marijuana was such an alien thing to my parents, who were both born, in the 20s, in the 1920s and early 1930s. It's just like something they didn't even know how to parent around it because they didn't understand any of it. It's just bizarre. Unlike your mom, it sounds like Grace is pretty hip, too.
well, great. I mean, Grace has been around it because her daughter used to grow it, and her other kids smoked it, whatever. But
that's the point, is that it's all about. It's about our culture. It's about our upbringing. It's about our value. I mean, all that kind of stuff kind of enters into this conversation, right? It's not, they smoke weed and they don't. There's so many different use cases around drug use and recreational drug use.
They're using ketamine now for depression. I love that. I think that's beautiful. If it works, great. Better than taking an antidepressant that causes brain twitching and all this other stuff that it can cause. If that works for you, beautiful. No, Grace, you never encouraged marijuana. Of course you didn't. Not at all. But it's in our world and it's legal. So
in some places, and it's not in other places. I mean, that's we could even having this discussion in Texas could be problematic from a legal point of view. Seriously.
Yeah.
There was a WNBA player just this past couple of days that was apparently in Russia, and she got caught with vape cartridges in her luggage, and she got arrested. And now it's going to turn into some international incident, like hostage swapping type situation. Now we're looking at with her.
Can you imagine this poor girl's just trying to get the hell out of Russia, and now she can't? It's just
but at the same time, she probably used it for anxiety or whatever. But I don't think I would carry that over to Russia.
Well, no. Agreed. I don't think
just deal with your shit for the next 2 weeks and don't have any of that on your person in Russia.
Yeah. Maybe she got it in Russia. The black market is everywhere. And
right.
Why wouldn't they have hash cartridges being sold on the street or in the underground there? So she could have just been caught with stuff she got while in Russia or in but
and those people have a lot more reason to want to get high in Russia than we do.
Right, compounded by the fact that you're a professional basketball player too, and the bumps and the aches and stuff. The NBA has already had a decriminalized cannabis, just because there's so many players that are smoking it, and so it's just turned into a little slap on the wrist kind of fine. No sanctions are involved. None of that stuff,
They use all kinds of stuff.
The one thing is it doesn't enhance their talent or anything. So, they allow them to do it. And so, she could have been carrying prescription medication with her and everything would have been cool. But because this stigma of cannabis and what it's carried for the longest amount of time, and now is on the downswing when it comes to legality, is still just ridiculous worldwide. there was the track star, the woman from the United States who
Right.
qualified for the team and then smoked a blunt because dealing with the death of one of the matriarchs, and she was disqualified. She can't compete now
Right.
in the upcoming
And
Summer
then they let
Olympics.
the 15-year-old Russian girl who they found, drugs in her system that were, against the anti-doping rules. They let her compete in the Olympics. So
Right.
the hypocrisy
And ruined it for everybody else.
Yeah, and the double
In the end.
standards are just, beyond
Well,
the
and then
pale.
I think about, I'm sure you guys saw it. I started to follow it, and it just made me so sad. The volleyball player or the soccer player from Stanford, who
Right.
she was
Right.
a star player. It just breaks my heart, man. I'm like, oh, I know what, to have that much pressure on you and then not be able to deal and just.
And all the work and the training and the hours and all, the dedication to her craft, and then to be denied.
Right.
Ugh, it's the worst.
Oh, the girl, yeah.
Did I read something too that she was? Did I read something too that she was due for some type of school reprimand or something?
I didn't.
The soccer.
I don't know. I didn't read that part. I didn't see that. I just sort of let it go last.
She sounds like she's been going through some shit.
Yeah.
She's been going through some shit, It's just so tragic.
Heartbreaking.
To see somebody that young take their life.
And both of you have young daughters, it's this life is bye, Mama Grace. This life is, not for sissies, and it's not perfect, but we're here, and I'm glad we talked today. I'm glad the three of you came on. How's Cashew right now? Still in the same pose?
Yeah. In repose. Cashew in repose.
Now, if you had a slice of American cheese and you started to unwrap that Kraft American cheese, would he be like?
I don't think so. He's not a cheese hound per se.
Oh, but just that unwrapping of anything.
Well, yeah, there are things that he reacts to that that's all that you can see of him right now. There are things that he normally reacts to, like the opening and closing of the front door. If he feels like he's going to be left behind or any of that stuff.
I was going to ask that.
But that's how tired and sleepy he is right now, is that stuff doesn't even get him going yet. So he's still out of, he's still high AF.
How old is Cashew?
2
years old.
Yeah.
He's a teenager. He'll be fine.
Hey, bud. How you doing, bud?
Hi, Cashew.
You want to say hello? No, are y'all tired? Are you high AF?
Are you high AF? Cashew's high AF.
That's hilarious.
Leave me alone, Dad. I'm high AF.
You can't believe the doctor said that.
You go back to Ganja Goo Ball land there, buddy. Okay.
You put on some music, put on a video, get some grilled cheese grilling over there. That's how I would be. If I were like that, just put on a movie, don't talk to me, and give me some macaroni and cheese.
What do you want to watch, Cashew? The Secret Life of Pets? You want to watch The Secret Life of Pets? Or what do you want to watch?
He wants to watch some Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, some Cheech and Chong. Tomorrow night, make sure you guys watch the documentary on Nina Simone, Netflix.
Oh, really? What's it called?
It's called, I know what it's called. Netflix, Nina.
We can all research that. You don't have to do that.
I saw a really awesome documentary on Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz.
Yeah, which one?
Oh,
what happened? It's called
amazing.
What Happened to Miss Simone. What Happened to Miss Simone?
Oh, What Happened to Miss Simone?
Okay,
cool.
What Happened to Miss Simone? It's an older film. It's an older one, but it's good.
Oh, she's great. I mean that sequence in the Summer of Soul where she performs is amazing.
Yeah.
So So
so
that makes me want to watch it.
So good.
My documentary recommendation is Once We Were Brothers, Robbie Robertson's retelling of his history with the
That's
band.
a good one.
Okay.
That's
Very, very cool.
And quite timely as I was with the Little Feet Beings last night.
That's what reminded me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What documentary did you see, AJ?
I think it was called Lucy and Desi. It was documentary about their life, and
really good.
It really went into detail about Lucy's history and how she came up, and the discovery of like 30 cassette tapes with interviews on them. You know,
those are great.
And
they've actually created a podcast out of that.
Oh wow! Yeah, this was directed by Amy Poehler. Amy Poehler directed.
There's a podcast of. There's 2 podcasts that are out there right now. One is The Life of Lucille Ball, which is wow. And then the other one, they are tapes that she actually was making these podcasts, interviewing her friends. Like, today I'm going to have my friend Natalie Wood on. Natalie, how old are you? You're so pretty. I'm 14. Oh, Natalie, it's so great to have you. And Bob Hope. And she had this tape recorder in her house, and she would make these recordings. It's far out.
Yeah.
Listen to all of them. They were on XM, but there's this other one, this thing called there's The Plot Thickens. That's another one. Yeah, I'm sort of a Lucille Ball file.
Yeah, no, it's very good. I enjoyed it very much. But if I get a plug in here for a show, the most ridiculous show that I've seen this past week is this, I guess, short little 7-episode thing on Peacock. It was called Schmigadoon. It's SCH.
Gary Lambert loves Schmigadoon.
Oh my God, Schmigadoon!
It's a parody, right?
It's hilarious. It's about this couple that are going through flux, right? It's a complicated relationship. Well, it doesn't get complicated until they get to Schmigadoon, and they go off on this hike, and they get lost, and they end up in a musical. No. It's not. I'm not ruining anything though, because it's them reacting to like 2 normal people reacting to just music coming from everywhere with like no real source, and people dressed like like it was a musical and dancing in a number, and they just don't know how to react to it. It's all it's interspersed with their like, what's going on here type reaction. And it's hilarious.
It's on Peacock?
I think it's on Peacock, yeah. But
it's
Keegan-Michael Key.
Living life in a musical, right? Like it's take off on Brigadoon, right? I think that's
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that was like an old Gene Kelly movie or something, like an old Gene Kelly musical.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's just like all these big numbers and like it'll trigger like so they'll say something that'll trigger a song, and all of a sudden the 2 characters who are living like the regular life, they're like, oh God, did that trigger a song? Like, they start looking around like, what's going on? It's great. You have to like musicals, and you have to like comedy music in general, but it's a very interesting format.
You guys, I got to bolt. I've got to take this child out into the, she's not AF. She's just ready to go potty AF. I'm glad Cashew, thank you so much for being here, AJ. And thanks for putting the post out that you were going to be here, and congratulations on Joy, and rock that hat, brother. Rock that hat, even though you scammed it, but. So tonight, Poetry Glam. Tomorrow morning, we move. Tomorrow night, Monday Night Movie Club. Schmigadoon.
I'll do my best to be there tomorrow night.
All right, cool. Rich, have a great day. Anybody have a letter for me?
Have a good one.
C for cashew.
C for cashew.
Thanks for picking that, AJ.
C for cashew. Oh my goodness. AF is a way to be today, and it's gonna be a happy day. I know. So everybody, there is cashew. Oh my goodness, cashew. We love you, cashew. Oh, rub my belly, Dad, please. Rub my belly, please. Please, please, please. Also give me a little piece of cheese. Oh my goodness, cashew is a cutie pie. Oh my, pie sounds good too. Pancakes do too. And I gotta say hi to cashew. Oh, I feel a song coming on cashew. I've been cashewed one more time. Yes, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and be real nice. And everybody think about cashew once or twice. Cashew, I love you. Yes, I do. I really, really, really love you. Ooh, oh my goodness, I've been cashewed. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness, I have been cashewed. Ooh, ooh, ooh. From the thoughts, make them caring thoughts. From your words, make them casual words. And from your heart, always, always have a calm heart. And always, always like cashew. Please, cut, please, 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 Dad, take the camera away from me, Dad. Oh, I've been cashewed. Ba-da-ba-bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. Love heart, everybody.
Have a great day,
Real
everyone.
hard. Love you.
Love you too. Thanks, you guys.